The 49ers 2022 schedule has been released, and coming up on today's show, we're going to break it down week by week. But first, I want to hear from you. What will the Niners record be this upcoming season? Let me know in the comment section. Let's take a look at the schedule right now. Happy NFL schedule release day. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. We're not talking news. We're not talking rumors. We finally have some actual football to look forward to because the 2022 NFL schedule has been released. So without further ado, let's take a look at the slate and who San Francisco will be taking on in a couple of months. They begin the season week 1 against the Chicago Bears. Really intriguing matchup, hopefully between Trey Lance and Justin Fields, two upstart quarterbacks in the National Football League. Week 2, Drew Lock, potentially the starter for Seattle, going to be an NFC West rivalry game. Hopefully San Francisco can end the Seahawks' dominance against the Niners in that game at Levi Stadium. That'll be the home opener. Week 3, on the road against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football. One of many primetime matchups for the 49ers coming off that Final Four appearance in the NFC Championship game. This is going to be a really intriguing matchup for a couple of reasons. We'll see how Trey Lance hopefully is going to be able to fare in a tough, raucous environment, and we'll get to see the Russell Wilson-led Denver Broncos. Week 4, the 49ers schedule continues at home at Levi Stadium against the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. They were great last year. They have reloaded, expected to be good this year, and these could be the two teams fighting to win the NFC West crown in 2022. Now, folks, this is why you subscribe to the 49ers Report. The schedule was released, and within minutes, we are here cooking up a video for you. And we are 788 people away from reaching a monster milestone right here on the 49ers Report of 60,000 subs. And if you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, just hit that red subscribe button. Why? We're pushing out free daily videos on the San Francisco 49ers. All of our content 100% free. We hit you with the latest news, the latest rumors, watch parties during the season, which last year surpassed 100,000 views. Our draft and free agency coverage have been top-notch and consistent. We also are the best with live shows and audience interaction. So hit that red subscribe button or use that link at the bottom of your screen to join the faithful family here at Chat Sports, youtube.com/49ers TV. We move forward on the 49ers schedule. Week 5 on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Week 6, another road game against an NFC South opponent in the Atlanta Falcons. Week 7, they welcome the Kansas City Chiefs to Santa Clara against Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. This is a team that is expected to make another run at a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl rematch from the 2019 season. Trey Lance reminds me a lot from an arm strength perspective of Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes in the second year won the NFL MVP. It's our hope that Lance is going to burst onto the scene in his second year like Patrick Mahomes was able to do in his sophomore campaign. Hopefully that does come to fruition. Speaking of this game, it's one of the ones on the docket that I'm really looking forward to. Your all too early predictions for this game. Type SF for the 49ers, KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Get those predictions in the comment section. Week 8, we start to approach the middle portion of the year, and once again, for the second consecutive season, a 17-game, 18-week schedule. Week 8, you go on the road against the Los Angeles Rams, which is kind of good because you don't have to worry about a Week 18 do-or-die matchup like you did last year. The Niners get their bye week in Week 9, which I think is a really good thing because it's right at that halfway mark of the year. You get to recharge, reset, replenish yourselves to a certain degree, and if the Niners are injured up to that point, they can take a little bit of a rest. Week 10, they're back in action against the Los Angeles Chargers, and I want to focus on this game because we can be excited about a lot of these games because the Niners are going up against some really marquee superstar quarterbacks in the NFL, as evidenced by the games that we've broken down already and the games that we're about to get to. This is going to be an awesome matchup, and it's going to be a test for this Niners defense, and by the time that the playoffs come around, this is going to be a battle-tested group under DeMeco Ryans because they're going up against some of the best quarterbacks in the league. We move forward in the schedule. schedule. Week 11 on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. So back-to-back primetime matchups, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, then Week 12 against the New Orleans Saints. That right there, certainly a winnable game after a tough stretch on back-to-back weeks against the Chargers and Cardinals. If you want to bet on any of these games, do so with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. You see that link at the bottom of your screen? Utilize it to your advantage. Chatsports.com/49bet and the promo code to my right, Niners125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. So let's just say you put $100 into your account. Automatically upon signing up, you get $125 back. And we take a look at the all-too-early NFC West odds. Of course, so much can play out from now until the start of the regular season. The Rams, coming off that Super Bowl, the favorites to win the NFC West division at plus 125. Niners, though, right on their heels at plus 185, even with the inexperience of Trey Lance, followed by the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. A few more games to get to on the docket here. Really intriguing slate, as I talked about. Week 13, we get to see Mike McDaniel as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, formerly the offensive coordinator under the watchful eyes of Kyle Shanahan. We know that the Dolphins made a bevy of splashes throughout free agency as well as in the NFL draft. We'll get to see it firsthand at Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium against Miami. Week 14, Tom Brady, he retired. Then he came out of retirement, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are locked and loaded yet again, led by the GOAT, trying to get their second Super Bowl championship over the span of 3 years, and the theme continues about going up against some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. None maybe better, none definitely more accomplished than TB12. Week 15, another primetime matchup against the Seattle Seahawks on the road. At this point, are they going to be starting Drew Lock? Are they going to be starting somebody else? And what does the Seahawks team look like up to this juncture in the season? I think it's a rebuilding year for Seattle, but led by Pete Carroll, he always gives Kyle Shanahan fits. Speaking of the NFC West, I know a lot of you have your most hated team in this division as the Seattle Seahawks, but I want to gauge where you're at because a lot of you and some of you might go with another team, like the Rams because they won the Super Bowl last year, maybe even the Arizona Cardinals. Which team in the NFC West do you hate the most? LAR for the Rams, ARI for the Cardinals, or SEA for the Seattle Sea Chickens? Make sure you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both social media platforms. I tweet out all of our shows. I tweet out clips. Our watch parties are going to be absolutely insane when the fall comes around, and I keep you in the know with all things 49ers, and I love interacting with the faithful, so make sure you give me a follow on Twitter and IG at Chase_Senior. We round out the schedule with 3 more games. One, very, very fascinating. So week 16 against the Commanders, we'll see what Carson Wentz can do. Week 17, faithful to the Bay. Who is faithful to the Bay? San Francisco, of course, because the Las Vegas Raiders, they are the Las Vegas Raiders. They ditched the Bay for Las Vegas, the bright lights. They wanted to play at Allegiant Stadium. They weren't faithful to the Bay like San Francisco. This is going to be a raucous environment. The lead up to this game is going to be awesome considering the inner city former rivalry that took place and ensued with this game between two of the most iconic brands in the NFL, two of the most passionate fan bases, myself, Mitchell Renz. We might have to crawl out of the studio after our respective watch parties when this game wraps up between the Niners and the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, they have Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and now Josh McDaniels leading the charge. To round out the regular season for San Francisco, this could end up being another big game. Last year, it was the final week of the year against the Los Angeles Rams. This year, it's against the Arizona Cardinals. Can you imagine playoff positioning going down to the final week just like it did a year ago? The Niners and the Cardinals might be fighting for the NFC West. They might be fighting for one of those wild card matchups. Trey Lance against Kyler Murray. That's what I want to see come to fruition. That game could have a lot at stake. So to round things out, the full schedule right here. Week 1 on the road against the Chicago Bears. Week 2 at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Week 3 primetime matchup Sunday Night Football against the Denver Broncos. Week 4 against the Rams. Week 5 on the road against the Panthers. Back on the road against the Falcons. I imagine the Niners might stay toward the East Coast there. Week 7 at home against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Week 18 against the Week 8 against the Los Angeles Rams. Week 9 is their bye week. Week 10 against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Week 11 on the road against the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. Week 12 against the New Orleans Saints. Then 6 more matchups to get to. Week 13 against the Mike McDaniel-led Miami Dolphins. Still sounds weird to a certain degree. Week 14 against Tom Brady and the Bucs. Week 15, Thursday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. Week 16 against the Washington Commanders. And then the Niners round out the slate. Week 17 on the road against the Raiders. Week 18 against the Arizona Cardinals. So before I dip on out of here, and keep an eye out for this schedule prediction video coming out on Friday. What will the Niners record be in 2022? I'll reveal my record prediction on Friday's show. Stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching the 49ers Report.